Welcome back to my channel, Miss Personal Finance, where we discuss everything about finances. I have different series on my page, including an animated series for teens and young adults, but this video is going to be part of my household finances series, and we are already doing the monthly budget for the month of March. So this year is just flying by. That means we're already heading towards the end of the first quarter. And the only thing I can say about this upcoming month is everything is going up. So we are 1 month ahead in our expenses. So that means we already have the money saved up for the following month, and we just use that next month to rebuild it for the subsequent month. Now, for our 1 month ahead fund, we usually have, or we have had, the set budget for $5,000, and it's been like that for a while. However, we may need to change that, and after this month's budget, I'll take a look at it and see how we need to adjust it, if at all. So for income, we're still going to just start off with $5,000 and see how it goes again for this first quarter, and then switch it up in April if we can see that it's actually still not working for us. So we're gonna move over to fixed expenses, and like I always say, pay yourself first. Your future self will thank you. So whether that's savings or investments, in our case, whatever amount that you can afford to put away is better than nothing. And when you take that amount out first, then you only have what you have left to budget everything else. So where there's a will, there's a way, and I'm sure you will find a way. So even if you have to start small, $20, $50 a month, just make sure you're paying yourself first. All right, and speaking of first thing that went up due to escrow, homeowners insurance, property taxes is the mortgage. So I like round even numbers, so I always round up for pretty much most, if not all, expenses. And that went from $1,520 to about $1,595, so almost about $1,600. Now, the next thing we have is internet, which also went up. And that went from 70 to 72. And they said that is because they're charging more for Wi-Fi. Oh, can't even with these people. All right, so the next thing is going to be our Sling. We don't have cable, so this is our streaming service for everything. And that's 63 for now. My baby's tuition, that's going to be $900. Medical, this has already increased from January, so the going rate now is the $342. Dental remained the same. With my husband being self-employed, we just self-insure. With our income being so variable, so we just have private insurance for both medical and dental. For our subscriptions, which is not many, it's about $8. Our electric bill, now this fluctuates, but I just put the same amount every month. I use the average from last year's bills, and that way it'll just even out from the high months and the low months. And it also helps just to maintain a more balanced budget. And the same exact goes for water. So we pay the same exact amount every month, and it usually it just balances out with very little fluctuation by the end of the year, by December. So that's where we are for fixed expenses. That amount used to be about $34.11. Let's see what it is now. So we have 200, 295. that right? Because I feel like it went up more, but I guess it didn't. I'll take it. It's still in the threes. So 3,488. And honestly, I'm gonna do that again just real quick, just to make sure. Yep, okay, 3,488 is what we now have for our fixed expenses. Our variable expenses, our sinking funds, we're gonna save that for last, and then we're gonna go into groceries, and these are what we would consider cash envelope, but because we are digital budgeters, this is essentially what goes into our spending account and broken up into these categories. Now, March is also going to be a 5-week month. So that means instead of the regular 4 weeks that we budget for, there will be a total of 5. So we have to add another week of expenses. So like I said, March is just going to be an overall more expensive month. So for groceries, instead of 400, we'll do 500. Gas would be, don't use a lot of gas, so that actually may stay the same. And then for household, that'll go up to 150. Miscellaneous, same thing. I don't really need that much, and I also have some rollover, so I'm not gonna stuff that in the extra week either. But typically, if these were low or at zero balances, I would stuff the additional week for both gas and miscellaneous, but I have enough rollover and enough cushion there, so that should be fine. And then I'll wait to add this up, and our student loan debt, that's just gonna be the standard 500. So the total for debt is gonna be 500. All right, so I have 5,000 minus 3,488 minus 500 minus another 500 minus 240 minus 150 minus 240. Okay, so I'm negative 118. All right, so we're gonna be negative 118 this month. So that means with all the increases, we actually technically have 0 to put towards our sinking funds. And we're also technically over budget by $118, but I anticipate with our side hustles and our extra income from rental property income, we should be able to cover that. So I'm not too worried, but that does make me a bit uneasy as far as not even having a little bit of extra to put away into savings or sinking funds. So that's why I'm pretty sure next month we're gonna have to revamp our budget and increase the amount that we have in our 1 month ahead fund. So that just means what we put in there has to be a little bit more to cover these increased expenses. So that's where we are. We're actually at 118 plus 5,000. So we're actually at a budget of 5118. So given this is this is going to be a 5-week month, that doesn't happen all the time. It does a couple months throughout the year, but not consistently. So that should bring it down some. And then of course, just taking into account the increases in some of our fixed expenses. So it looks like we'll probably have to increase our 1 month ahead budget from 5,000 to maybe 5,200, 5,300. I'll take a look at the numbers, especially after we do the March budget closeout, to kind of see where we land. But that's actually all I have for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and comment below. And just remember, whatever you put your energy towards, whatever you focus on, you're bound to see progress. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.